Virginia is a land of history, but beneath its charming streets and grand estates lurks something far darker. For centuries, whispers of restless spirits, unexplained footsteps, and ghostly apparitions have haunted this state, leaving even the bravest souls uneasy. Every corner hides a story that chills the bones and keeps the living awake at night. From colonial mansions where tragic deaths occurred to battlefields soaked in blood and sorrow, Virginia is home to places that refuse to stay silent. Visitors report hearing whispers with no source, seeing shadowy figures vanish into walls, and feeling cold hands brush against them in empty corridors. These are not mere tales to entertain the curious, they are warnings. Prepare to step into the shadows of Virginia's most haunted locations. Each of these 15 places has a history soaked in fear, mystery, and unexplained occurrences. Some have driven guests away in terror. Some continue to claim those who dare to linger too long. These are not places for the faint of heart. These are Virginia's most haunted places. Haunted place number 1, Bacon's Castle, Surry County. Bacon's Castle stands as one of Virginia's most eerie and enigmatic locations, a place where history and the supernatural collide in a chilling embrace. Built in 1665, it is the oldest surviving brick dwelling in the United States, constructed in the Jacobean style, its looming towers and twisted chimneys casting long shadows over the surrounding grounds, particularly at night when the fog rolls in from the nearby James River. While the architecture alone is enough to inspire awe, the stories of lingering spirits and unexplained phenomena make it a magnet for those drawn to the macabre. Visitors and historians alike have reported cold spots in rooms where no drafts exist, doors opening and closing of their own accord, and shadowy figures glimpsed in the corners of dimly lit halls, always vanishing when approached. The house is steeped in tales of violence, betrayal, and tragedy. During Bacon's Rebellion in 1676, the castle was seized and held by rebels, and the turmoil of that time is said to have left an indelible mark on the property. Local lore insists that the wails of the dead from that period still echo through the empty rooms, a spectral reminder of the conflict that once engulfed the region. Guests exploring the property often report a sense of unease, a weight pressing down upon them, or a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Some have captured strange orbs of light on camera, while others hear whispers that carry no identifiable source. The attic, rarely visited due to its labyrinthine stairways and low lighting, is said to house some of the most restless spirits, with several accounts describing a figure in colonial attire, pacing silently or suddenly disappearing when observed directly. The dining hall, too, is known for inexplicable cold drafts and the occasional faint scent of tobacco and gunpowder, hinting at the violent history of the house. Night tours, meant to entertain and educate, frequently leave visitors shaken, with many swearing they felt hands brush against them or heard footsteps behind them when they were alone. Scholars and paranormal investigators have attempted to explain the phenomena, attributing some occurrences to natural causes, but there are too many consistent reports over centuries to dismiss the claims entirely. Bacon's Castle is more than a historical site. It is a place where the past refuses to rest, where the echoes of rebellion, betrayal, and death linger in the very bricks and mortar. Each visit carries the weight of history and the whisper of spirits, making it clear why this estate continues to capture the imagination and fear of all who dare to enter. Those who step into its shadowed halls do so at their own risk. For Bacon's Castle is not only a monument to colonial architecture, but also a realm where the boundary between the living and the dead feels perilously thin. The chilling combination of history, tragedy, and persistent paranormal activity ensures that Bacon's Castle will remain one of Virginia's most haunted and compellingly terrifying destinations, a place where the past is never truly gone, and the spirits of history are never silent. Number 2. The Peyton Randolph House, Williamsburg. The Peyton Randolph House, located in the heart of historic Williamsburg, Virginia, is one of the most haunted residences in the state, a place where the whispers of the past seem to cling stubbornly to the walls. Built in the early 18th century, this stately colonial home belonged to Peyton Randolph, the first president of the Continental Congress, and its rich history is intertwined with the Revolutionary era. The grandeur of the architecture is striking by day, but by night, the house takes on an unsettling aura, as if the echoes of history have never fully departed. Visitors and caretakers alike report a multitude of strange phenomena, from sudden cold drafts in rooms with closed windows to the sensation of unseen presences brushing past them in narrow hallways. Guests often speak of hearing muffled footsteps and hushed voices when no one else is nearby, as well as the occasional creaking of floorboards that cannot be explained. Shadows seem to move of their own accord, darting across rooms or lingering in corners where light struggles to reach. The upper floors are especially active, with some claiming to see a figure dressed in colonial attire, gazing out of the windows or walking silently down the corridors before vanishing without a trace. The house has been a site of tragedy and political tension, its history steeped in the challenges and conflicts of revolutionary America. Some believe that the spirits of those who once inhabited the home, perhaps unsettled by the turmoil of the era, remain tethered to the property, endlessly replaying the struggles and decisions of their time. Tales of disembodied voices, sudden drops in temperature, and inexplicable movements of objects are so frequent that they have become an accepted part of the house's legacy. One particularly unnerving phenomenon occurs in the library, where visitors have reported books falling from shelves without warning, and the faint scent of burning paper lingering in the air, despite no fire being present. In the main dining area, some have felt invisible hands touch their shoulders or sensed a presence sitting at the long table, seemingly observing them with a penetrating gaze. Nighttime tours often leave participants in a state of heightened fear, with some recounting encounters so vivid that they are unable to shake the feeling of having shared space with those long gone. Paranormal investigators who have studied the Peyton Randolph house report detecting unusual electromagnetic fluctuations and unexplained recordings of voices when using audio devices. While skeptics attempt to attribute the activity to the age of the building and its creaking timbers, the consistency and intensity of the reports over decades suggest something far more mysterious is at play. The combination of historical significance, architectural grandeur, and persistent hauntings makes this residence a focal point for ghost enthusiasts and thrill-seekers alike. The Peyton Randolph House is not merely a relic of colonial history, it is a living monument to the lives, fears, and unresolved energies of those who once walked its halls. Every creak of the floorboards, every flicker of shadow, serves as a reminder that the past may not rest as easily as we assume. For those who dare to step inside, the house offers a rare glimpse into a world where history and the supernatural collide, leaving an indelible mark on the imagination and the senses. Visitors to the Peyton Randolph house quickly realize that this is not just a historic home to admire from a distance. It is a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead feel perilously thin, where the whispers of the past can still chill the spine. Those willing to explore its shadowed corridors are rewarded with an unforgettable experience, one that merges history with the macabre, offering an intimate encounter with the spectral echoes of early America. The Peyton Randolph House remains a testament to the eerie and enduring power of history, a haunting destination where every creak, every shadow, and every whisper tells a story that refuses to be silenced. Number 3. The Ferry Plantation House, Virginia Beach. The Ferry Plantation House in Virginia Beach, Virginia, is widely regarded as one of the most haunted locations in the state, a place where centuries of history and tragedy have left a lingering and chilling presence. Built in 1830, This historic home originally served as the home of Captain Thomas Griffin, a ferry operator who transported passengers across the Lynnhaven River. Its location near the river was strategic, but it also placed the house at the heart of stories of loss, disease, and mysterious deaths that have echoed through the generations. Visitors to the Ferry Plantation House frequently report experiences that defy explanation. Cold spots appear in the warmest of rooms. Furniture seems to shift slightly when no one is watching, and the faint sounds of crying or footsteps are often heard in the hallways and along the creaking wooden floors. Some guests have described seeing shadowy figures in period clothing wandering through the house, or glimpses of faces peering out of the windows at night, only to vanish when approached. The house seems to hold on to its history, preserving the echoes of those who suffered or died within its walls. One of the most chilling stories associated with the Ferry Plantation House involves the so-called Bride of the Ferry, a young woman who tragically died in the house under mysterious circumstances. Guests and staff alike report sightings of a ghostly female figure dressed in a long, flowing gown, sometimes appearing near the staircase or in the main hallway. Many have felt sudden chills or the sensation of being watched when passing through areas where she is said to linger. The legend has grown over time, and paranormal investigators have documented unexplained phenomena that seem to confirm the house's eerie reputation. The house was also used as a hospital during the Civil War, and the presence of spirits associated with that era is often reported. Apparitions resembling wounded soldiers or the sounds of anguished moans have been noted by visitors, as if the building itself retains the memories of the pain and suffering that occurred there. Objects have been observed moving on their own, lights flicker without electrical cause, and whispers can be heard in rooms where no one is present. The weight of so many past events seems to permeate every corner of the house, making it a place of fascination and fear for those drawn to the paranormal. Tours of the Ferry Plantation House are often filled with stories from staff and visitors who have experienced first-hand encounters with its spectral residents. Some have claimed to see doors open and close on their own, or to feel a sudden pressure on their shoulders as if someone invisible is standing close behind. The house's paranormal activity is widely documented, and it has become a hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers who wish to experience its mysteries firsthand. Equipment used by investigators frequently records anomalous readings, including unexplained sounds and temperature fluctuations that cannot be accounted for by natural causes. The Ferry Plantation House is more than just a historic building. It is a repository of centuries of human emotion, tragedy, and unresolved spirits. Every shadow that flits across a room, every creak in the floorboards, and every unexplained sensation contributes to the house's reputation as a truly haunted location. For those brave enough to explore it, the house offers a rare and unsettling opportunity to connect with the past in a way that is both fascinating and terrifying. Visitors often leave the Ferry Plantation House with stories of encounters they cannot explain, tales that blur the line between history and the supernatural. The building stands as a testament to the lingering power of human experience, preserving memories that refuse to fade even as centuries pass. Its dark halls and shadowed rooms offer an immersive experience for those willing to confront the unknown, making it one of Virginia's most compelling and haunted destinations. The Ferry Plantation House is a chilling reminder that some places carry the weight of their past far beyond what is visible to the eye. Each ghostly whisper and fleeting shadow is a connection to the lives once lived there, and to the tragedies that continue to echo through time. For anyone with an interest in the paranormal, or simply a desire to experience the thrill of a haunted historic home, the Ferry Plantation House in Virginia Beach is an unforgettable and spine-tingling destination, where history and hauntings merge into an experience that is as fascinating as it is terrifying. Number 4. The Omni Homestead Resort, Hot Springs. The Omni Homestead Resort in Hot Springs, Virginia, is not just a luxurious retreat with breathtaking views of the Allegheny Mountains. It is also a place steeped in history, mystery, and reported paranormal activity. Established in 1766, the resort has welcomed countless guests over its long and storied existence, and many of them claim to have encountered unexplained phenomena that have left chills running down their spines. Its halls and historic rooms are said to be haunted by spirits from both its past guests and staff, as well as by figures connected to the resort's rich and sometimes tragic history. Guests have reported hearing footsteps in hallways when no one else is present, doors opening and closing on their own, and whispers echoing through the corridors late at night. Some have described the sensation of being watched, sudden drops in temperature, and the eerie feeling of unseen presences moving near them. Certain rooms, particularly those in the oldest parts of the resort, are considered hotspots for paranormal activity, with visitors sharing accounts of apparitions appearing in mirrors, ghostly figures standing at the foot of beds, and lights flickering for no discernible reason. The history of the Omni Homestead Resort contributes to its haunted reputation. Over the centuries, the resort has hosted countless dignitaries, celebrities, and travelers, some of whom reportedly met untimely or mysterious ends. It also served as a hospital and convalescent center during periods of war, and some believe that the spirits of those who suffered or died within its walls still linger, unable to find peace. The combination of luxury, history, and lingering energy creates a unique atmosphere where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur. One of the most well-known stories involves the ghost of the bellboy, a spirit said to roam the halls of the resort, carrying a tray or keys, occasionally appearing to guests before vanishing without a trace. Many visitors have recounted feeling a presence behind them or seeing a fleeting shadow out of the corner of their eye. Paranormal investigators visiting the resort have captured unexplained sounds, temperature anomalies, and images on camera that suggest the existence of entities beyond the natural world. The Omni Homestead Resort also has a history of fires, accidents, and tragedies that some believe have left a spiritual imprint on the property. Guests in the older wings often report waking in the middle of the night to strange noises, sudden chills, or the feeling of unseen hands brushing against them. Some have claimed to see figures dressed in period clothing wandering the halls, while others have experienced objects moving on their own. Each account adds to the growing lore of the resort as one of Virginia's most haunted locations. Despite its reputation for paranormal activity, the Omni Homestead Resort remains a popular destination, attracting both those seeking luxury and those drawn to its haunted history. Guided ghost tours and paranormal investigations are often offered to guests, providing a safe yet thrilling opportunity to explore the darker side of the resort. Visitors are encouraged to keep their eyes open, as the spirits that linger here are said to be unpredictable, sometimes playful, sometimes malevolent, but always present. The haunting at the Omni Homestead Resort is a reminder that places with long and layered histories often retain the energy of those who lived, worked, and sometimes died there. Each creaking floorboard, flickering light, and unexplained shadow serves as a connection to the past, a whisper from another time that lingers in the present. Whether you are a skeptic, a history enthusiast, or a thrill-seeker drawn to the supernatural, the Omni Homestead Resort offers an experience that is as fascinating as it is chilling. The Omni Homestead Resort is more than just a hotel. It is a living monument to centuries of human activity, joy, suffering, and mystery. Every hallway, every room, and every historic artifact is imbued with stories that refuse to fade with time. For those brave enough to walk its halls at night, the resort offers an immersive encounter with the unknown, a chance to witness firsthand the eerie and unexplained phenomena that have cemented its status as one of Virginia's most haunted destinations. visiting the Omni Homestead Resort is not merely a vacation. It is a journey into a place where history and hauntings collide. The blend of luxury, historic significance, and paranormal intrigue ensures that guests leave with memories they will never forget. For anyone seeking to explore the darker corners of Virginia's past while experiencing the thrill of potential ghostly encounters, the Omni Homestead Resort in Hot Springs offers a hauntingly unforgettable adventure. Number 5. Berkeley Plantation, Charles City County. Berkeley Plantation in Charles City County, Virginia, is a place where history and hauntings intertwine in ways both fascinating and terrifying. Established in 1619, it is famously known as the birthplace of the tradition of Thanksgiving in America. Yet beneath its historic charm lies a dark and eerie legacy that has given it a reputation as one of Virginia's most haunted locations. For centuries, visitors and staff have reported unexplainable phenomena, strange sounds, and ghostly apparitions that refuse to rest. The plantation's sprawling grounds, elegant manor, and centuries-old trees hide secrets that are said to come alive after dark. Guests walking the dimly lit hallways of the manor often hear unexplained footsteps, the soft creaking of doors opening and closing on their own, and faint whispers in voices that cannot be traced. Some have described seeing shadowy figures in period clothing moving silently through the corridors, vanishing when approached, leaving behind a cold chill that lingers in the air. Among the most infamous spirits reported at Berkeley Plantation is that of a young girl who is said to appear near the old nursery or along the manor's staircases. Witnesses recount seeing her pale form with a somber expression, sometimes giggling softly, other times staring blankly before disappearing into the walls. There are also tales of former slaves who lived and worked on the plantation. Their spirits thought to remain tied to the land, manifesting as cold spots, fleeting shapes, and feelings of intense sorrow that descend upon visitors unexpectedly. The history of Berkeley Plantation is as dark as it is significant. Beyond its role in early American history, it has been the site of tragedy, disease, and death over centuries. During the Revolutionary and Civil War eras, soldiers reportedly died on its grounds, and their restless spirits are said to haunt the estate to this day. Paranormal investigators have reported capturing unexplained sounds, shadowy figures on camera, and sudden temperature drops in areas where no logical cause could be found. The plantation's cemetery, with graves dating back hundreds of years, is often the focus of these phenomena, with eyewitnesses claiming to hear the groans of the deceased and seeing apparitions wandering the grounds at night. Visitors to Berkeley Plantation also describe a sense of being watched, as if unseen eyes are following their every move. Objects have been reported moving on their own, doors slamming unexpectedly, and cold drafts sweeping through rooms without explanation. Even the grand dining room, filled with centuries-old furniture and portraits, has been a site of strange occurrences, where chandeliers sway gently despite still air and ghostly figures are glimpsed in mirrors. Despite the chilling tales, Berkeley Plantation remains a place of fascination, drawing history enthusiasts, ghost hunters, and thrill seekers alike. Guided tours often include stories of paranormal encounters, encouraging guests to explore both the grandeur and the darker corners of the estate. Those brave enough to venture into the evening hours sometimes find themselves experiencing firsthand the eerie and unexplainable, a connection to the plantation's layered and haunted past. The haunting at Berkeley Plantation reminds visitors that places with long histories often carry echoes of the lives and deaths that occurred within them. The spirits reported here are not merely figments of imagination, but are thought to be lingering impressions of people who left the world under tragic or mysterious circumstances. Each cold spot, whisper, or fleeting shadow is a tangible link to a bygone era, a reminder that the past is never truly gone. Berkeley Plantation is more than a historic landmark. It is a living testament to centuries of human experience, both joyful and sorrowful. For those willing to confront the unknown, the plantation offers an immersive encounter with the supernatural, a chance to walk among the spirits of history while appreciating the architectural and cultural significance of the estate. Its blend of beauty, history, and paranormal intrigue ensures that every visit leaves a lasting impression, often tinged with fear and wonder. Visiting Berkeley Plantation is not just about seeing a piece of history, it is about stepping into a realm where the living and the dead coexist. From the creaking floors to the shadowy hallways, every aspect of the estate holds a story, many of which are whispered through ghostly encounters and chilling experiences. For anyone seeking both a historical journey and a brush with the paranormal, Berkeley Plantation in Charles City County is a hauntingly unforgettable destination. Number 6. The Boxwood Inn, Richmond. The Boxwood Inn in Richmond, Virginia, is a charming yet chilling location that draws visitors with its elegant architecture and historic charm. But those who linger long enough will soon realize that beneath its inviting facade lies a world steeped in mystery and paranormal activity. This historic inn, nestled in one of Richmond's oldest neighborhoods, has been a silent witness to centuries of human experience. And some of those experiences appear to have left restless echoes that still roam its halls. Guests who have stayed at the Boxwood Inn often report a range of strange and unsettling phenomena. It begins subtly, with cold drafts that seem to appear from nowhere, inexplicable noises that echo through empty hallways, and the sensation of being watched even when the rooms are vacant. The inn's antique furnishings and original woodwork, while beautiful, seem to amplify these eerie occurrences, creating a setting where the line between the living and the spectral feels disturbingly thin. One of the most commonly reported manifestations is the sighting of shadowy figures gliding through the corridors, often disappearing just as one attempts to get a closer look. Visitors have also described hearing soft whispers, sometimes calling their names, or the faint laughter of children who were never meant to be there. Some rooms are said to be particularly active, where objects move without explanation, lights flicker, and electronic devices malfunction in the presence of unseen forces. The Boxwood Inn's history contributes to its haunted reputation. Built in the 19th century, the inn has hosted countless guests, some of whom met tragic ends or endured hardships during their stays. The spirits that linger here are believed to be those of individuals who died under mysterious circumstances or whose lives were marked by sorrow. Stories passed down through generations suggest that certain rooms are tied to specific apparitions, with particular hallways known for the footsteps of unseen residents echoing in the night. Guests often recount feeling sudden chills in otherwise warm rooms, a phenomenon that has been captured on thermal imaging cameras during paranormal investigations. Some have even reported waking in the middle of the night to find their surroundings subtly altered, furniture slightly moved or personal belongings in different locations, as if the inn itself is alive and aware of their presence. The inn's exterior is equally haunting. Its old brick walls, ivy-covered facades, and vintage gas lamps create shadows at dusk that seem almost too deliberate to be natural. Visitors walking the gardens or pathways have reported glimpses of figures peering from windows or disappearing behind trees, along with unexplained sounds that echo across the property. Even those who enter the inn expecting a peaceful stay often find themselves unnerved by the persistent sense of being observed or by inexplicable phenomena that defy rational explanation. Paranormal enthusiasts are particularly drawn to the Boxwood Inn, conducting investigations late into the night in hopes of capturing evidence of the spectral residents that seem unwilling to leave. EVP sessions, ghost hunts, and night tours all reveal a pattern of activity that points to a haunting deeply connected to the history of the inn. The experiences reported here are often described as both terrifying and fascinating, providing a rare opportunity to witness the paranormal in a setting that has remained largely unchanged over the decades. The Boxwood Inn stands as a testament to the ways history can leave an imprint on a place, a subtle but persistent reminder that the past never fully fades. For visitors, it is not merely a chance to sleep in a historic inn, but to step into a world where the living and the dead intersect, where every creak, shadow, and whisper hints at a story that refuses to be silenced. To walk the halls of the Boxwood Inn is to immerse oneself in a chilling blend of history, mystery, and the supernatural. Each room, corridor, and garden pathway holds the potential for an encounter that will leave a lasting impression, a brush with something otherworldly that lingers long after the stay has ended. Whether you are a history lover, a paranormal investigator, or simply a thrill seeker, the Boxwood Inn offers an experience that is as haunting as it is unforgettable. For those brave enough to visit, it is a reminder that some places are not merely buildings, but vessels of memory and spirit, where the line between the living and the dead is blurred. The Boxwood Inn in Richmond, Virginia, remains a beacon for the curious and the daring, offering a chilling glimpse into the hidden world of the haunted and the unexplained. Number 7. The Virginia State Capitol, Richmond. The Virginia State Capitol in Richmond is not just a center of government and history, it is also a location steeped in eerie tales and paranormal intrigue. Constructed in the late 18th century, the building has witnessed centuries of political drama, human ambition, and, according to many reports, restless spirits that refuse to leave the hallowed halls. Visitors and staff alike have reported experiences that defy rational explanation, making the Capitol a focal point for those fascinated by the supernatural. Walking through the grand corridors of the state capitol, one might feel an inexplicable chill or the sensation of being watched. These sensations are especially pronounced in the older wings of the building, where original architecture and period furnishings remain intact. Reports from employees include hearing footsteps echoing through empty halls, doors opening and closing on their own, and soft whispers that seem to come from nowhere. Some witnesses have described seeing shadowy figures gliding past, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. The history of the building contributes to its haunted reputation. Over the centuries, the Capitol has been a place of intense political debate, conflict, and, at times, tragedy. Some of the spirits said to linger here are believed to be former lawmakers, officials, or individuals involved in political struggles whose lives ended abruptly. These lingering presences are thought to replay echoes of past events, their energy woven into the very walls of the building. Certain areas of the Capitol are noted for heightened paranormal activity. The legislative chambers, with their heavy wooden furniture and vaulted ceilings, have been sites of unexplained cold spots, moving objects, and sudden gusts of air. Security personnel have reported hearing doors slam when no one is present, and surveillance cameras have occasionally captured inexplicable movements or figures. Visitors on guided tours sometimes experience an overwhelming sense of unease, as if unseen eyes are observing every step they take. The exterior of the Capitol is equally imposing and eerie, particularly at night, when the historic structure is illuminated by soft lighting. Shadows cast by the columns and intricate stonework can create the illusion of figures standing in the distance. Locals have recounted stories of phantom horse-drawn carriages passing silently along nearby streets, or distant mournful cries that fade into the night air. Paranormal investigations at the Virginia State Capitol have yielded accounts of strange electromagnetic readings, cold spots, and even instances of recording devices malfunctioning inexplicably. Some ghost hunters claim to have captured electronic voice phenomena, faint voices speaking in times and languages inconsistent with modern use, suggesting a connection to the building's long and turbulent history. Visitors who dare to explore the Capitol often leave with stories of unsettling encounters that linger in the mind long after their departure. Whether it is the fleeting glimpse of a shadow in the corner of a room, the sudden drop in temperature, or the sensation of being followed, the experiences at the state capitol are enough to convince even skeptics that something unseen walks its halls. The Virginia State Capitol is a reminder that history leaves more than just stories behind. It leaves echoes, energies, and sometimes it leaves spirits. For those who step into this iconic building, there is a chance to witness a side of history that is rarely seen, a dimension where the past reaches out into the present and where the living brush against the unknown. The Capitol stands not only as a symbol of governance and democracy, but also as a monument to the mysteries that lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. Each creaking floorboard, each unexplained noise, and each shadow flickering across the walls tells a story of a place where history, tragedy, and the supernatural intertwine. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts who brave the Capitol may find themselves part of a narrative that spans centuries, experiencing firsthand the chilling presence of those who walked these halls long before them. The Virginia State Capitol in Richmond remains a landmark, not just of American history, but of lingering spirits and stories that refuse to be forgotten, inviting the brave to explore its haunted corridors and confront the mysteries that hide in plain sight. Number 8. The Gadsby's Tavern Museum, Alexandria. Gadsby's Tavern Museum in Alexandria is one of the most historically rich and eerily haunted sites in Virginia. Dating back to the late 18th century, the tavern has long served as a social and political hub, hosting prominent figures such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Over the centuries, the building has accumulated not only layers of history, but also stories of unexplained phenomena that continue to intrigue visitors and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Guests and staff have reported a variety of supernatural experiences within the tavern's walls. Some have heard footsteps echoing through empty hallways, as if the patrons of centuries past are still moving between rooms. The sound of distant laughter or low murmurs is another frequently recounted phenomenon, often occurring in the evenings when the museum is quiet and the atmosphere is heavy with history. Shadows have been seen moving across rooms where no one is present, and cold spots appear abruptly, sending shivers down the spines of those nearby. The tavern's history contributes to its haunted reputation. As a gathering place for politicians, soldiers, and local citizens, Gadsby's Tavern witnessed passionate debates, clandestine meetings, and even tragic events that left emotional imprints on the building. Some believe that these energies have lingered, manifesting as restless spirits who replay echoes of the past for anyone sensitive enough to notice. Particularly active areas of the tavern include the main dining rooms, the upstairs lodging areas, and the cellar. In these spaces, visitors have reported objects moving on their own, doors opening and closing without explanation, and the sudden feeling of being watched. Security cameras have occasionally captured fleeting images of figures that disappear when approached, and audio recordings have picked up faint whispers in rooms that are otherwise silent. The tavern's cellar, once used for storage and secret gatherings, is often described as the most unsettling part of the building. The confined space, combined with the history of late-night meetings and occasional altercations, seems to amplify the sense of unease. Some paranormal investigators claim to have felt strong presences and recorded unexplained voices, suggesting that the spirits of past patrons may still linger in these darkened halls. Visitors to Gadsby's Tavern Museum sometimes report sudden chills, tingling sensations, or the impression that someone is brushing past them in empty corridors. These experiences, combined with the tavern's rich historical background, create an atmosphere that is both fascinating and unnerving. Even during guided tours, where the focus is on history and architecture, many guests recount feeling the weight of unseen eyes or hearing sounds that cannot be accounted for by modern activity. At night, the exterior of Gadsby's Tavern adds to its haunting allure. The aged brickwork and classic colonial architecture cast long, shifting shadows under the soft glow of streetlights. Some locals claim to see figures in period clothing wandering the grounds or glimpsing ghostly silhouettes at the windows, hinting at the lingering spirits of the tavern's former patrons. The paranormal reputation of Gadsby's Tavern has made it a popular location for ghost tours and investigations. Researchers have documented unusual temperature fluctuations, electronic interference, and other phenomena that suggest the presence of spirits tied to the site. These reports contribute to the tavern's mystique and draw those with a fascination for the supernatural from across the country. Gadsby's Tavern Museum serves as a reminder that history is not only preserved in documents and artifacts, but can also manifest in unexpected and sometimes chilling ways. The echoes of the past, the remnants of human emotion, and the unresolved stories of centuries ago appear to persist within its walls, offering a glimpse into a world where the boundary between the living and the dead is thin. For visitors, the tavern offers more than just historical insight. It presents an opportunity to encounter the supernatural firsthand, to sense the lingering energies of a bygone era, and to ponder the mysteries that have made Gadsby's Tavern one of Virginia's most haunted and intriguing locations. Those brave enough to explore its halls may find themselves drawn into a narrative that spans centuries, where every creak, whisper, and shadow tells a story that refuses to be forgotten. The Gadsby's Tavern Museum remains a landmark of colonial history and paranormal intrigue, inviting guests to experience both the tangible and the intangible. From the laughter of past patrons to the unexplained chills in the air, every corner of the building holds a secret, and every room echoes with the spirits of history. It is a place where the past is never truly gone, and where the brave can witness the haunting legacy of one of Virginia's most storied and spectral sites. Number 9. The Fort Monroe, Hampton. Fort Monroe, located in Hampton, Virginia, is a site steeped in history, military significance, and chilling tales of hauntings. Built in the early 19th century to defend the Chesapeake Bay, the fort has served multiple purposes over the years, including as a military garrison, a prison during the Civil War, and later as a historical landmark. Its long and sometimes dark history has contributed to a reputation for paranormal activity, making it a destination for ghost hunters and history enthusiasts alike. Visitors to Fort Monroe have reported a wide range of eerie experiences. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures moving along the old barracks and hallways, often disappearing when approached. Others describe hearing unexplained footsteps echoing through empty corridors, or the sounds of voices conversing in spaces where no one else is present. The atmosphere inside the fort is heavy with history, and many feel an inexplicable chill, as if the spirits of soldiers and prisoners still linger, bound to the walls that witnessed their lives. Particularly active areas include the casemates, the old guardhouses, and the fort's ramparts. The casemates, which were once used to house soldiers and, at times, prisoners, are known for sudden drops in temperature and an unsettling feeling of being watched. Paranormal investigators have also recorded electronic voice phenomena in these spaces, capturing faint whispers and murmurs that seem to come from the past. Many believe that the spirits of soldiers who suffered or perished within the fort's walls remain tethered, unable to move on. The fort's history adds to its haunting allure. During the Civil War, Fort Monroe served as a prison for Confederate soldiers, and tales of mistreatment and suffering abound. The emotional energy left behind by those who lived, suffered, or died here is said to manifest as spectral sightings and paranormal disturbances. Visitors have recounted seeing apparitions in period military uniforms, hearing the clanking of armor, and sensing the heavy presence of unseen entities in quiet moments. Even outside, the grounds of Fort Monroe are steeped in ghostly tales. The expansive walls, lookout points, and old cannons create an atmosphere that can feel both awe-inspiring and unnerving. Some locals claim to see figures pacing the ramparts at dusk, or lights flickering in abandoned areas where no modern source exists. These stories have made Fort Monroe a focus for historical tours that blend education with the paranormal, offering a spine-chilling glimpse into the fort's past. The fort's lighthouse, standing tall over the Chesapeake Bay, is another point of reported paranormal activity. Ghostly lights and unexplained movements have been witnessed by both visitors and staff. Some speculate that the spirits of those who died at sea, or those who once maintained the lighthouse, continue to make their presence known to those brave enough to explore the area after dark. The Fort Monroe is not only a historical landmark, but also a place where the boundary between the living and the dead seems unusually thin. The weight of centuries of military life, imprisonment, and human emotion has left an imprint that continues to be felt by visitors today. Paranormal researchers have documented cold spots, orbs, and unexplained sounds throughout the fort, adding to its reputation as one of Virginia's most haunted locations. For those who visit, Fort Monroe offers more than just a lesson in military history. It provides an opportunity to connect with the past in a tangible way, to experience the lingering presence of those who lived and died within its walls, and to explore a site where every shadow, whisper, and chill seems to tell a story. The fort's combination of historical significance and paranormal activity creates an atmosphere that is both captivating and unsettling, making it a must-see for those interested in America's haunted heritage. Whether exploring the barracks, walking the ramparts, or standing near the lighthouse, visitors to Fort Monroe often report a profound sense of the past pressing close, a reminder that history is not always silent. The spirits that inhabit the fort, whether soldiers, prisoners, or other souls, seem to ensure that the stories of their lives and their deaths are never forgotten. Fort Monroe remains a landmark of American history and paranormal intrigue, a place where the echoes of the past are felt in every step. Those brave enough to wander its corridors may find themselves face to face with the remnants of lives long gone, discovering a haunted legacy that continues to captivate and terrify in equal measure. Number 10. The Edgar Allan Poe Museum, Richmond. The Edgar Allan Poe Museum, located in Richmond, Virginia, is a place that celebrates the life and work of one of America's most famous writers, while also being steeped in stories of the supernatural. Poe's dark tales of death, despair, and the macabre seem to linger in the museum itself, giving visitors an eerie sense that the author's spirit may still be present among the exhibits. The museum houses a vast collection of Poe's personal items, manuscripts, and letters, as well as artifacts related to his life in Richmond, making it a fascinating site for literary enthusiasts and paranormal seekers alike. Visitors to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum often report unusual experiences, from cold drafts in rooms that have no open windows to the sensation of being watched while exploring the exhibits. Many claim to hear faint whispers, footsteps, or the rustling of papers when no one else is around. The museum, with its dimly lit rooms and gothic ambiance, creates a natural setting for feelings of unease, amplified by the knowledge that Poe himself was drawn to the morbid and the mysterious. The museum's architecture and layout add to its haunting reputation. The original buildings date back to the 18th century, and the combination of aged brick, narrow hallways, and shadowed corners creates an atmosphere ripe for paranormal activity. Some visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the galleries or catching glimpses of a tall man in 19th century clothing, believed to be Poe himself, lingering near his personal artifacts. Others have experienced sudden drops in temperature, which many interpret as the presence of spirits connected to the museum's history. Particularly active areas include the room displaying Poe's personal effects and the basement where some of the museum's older exhibits are stored. Paranormal investigators have documented strange noises, such as the creaking of floorboards and the tapping of unseen fingers in these spaces. Some even claim to have captured unexplained orbs and shadows on camera, lending credibility to the idea that the museum may indeed be haunted. The museum's connection to Poe's life and works provides a unique context for these paranormal occurrences. Poe was known for his fascination with death and the afterlife, and many of his stories explore the thin veil between life and the supernatural. Visitors often feel that this fascination has left an imprint on the museum itself, where the boundaries between the living and the dead seem to blur. The eerie atmosphere, combined with the historical significance of the artifacts, creates an immersive experience that is both educational and chilling. Tours of the museum often highlight not only Poe's literary achievements, but also the strange and unexplained events reported by staff and visitors. Guides share tales of sudden, unexplainable sounds, objects moving on their own, and apparitions glimpsed in corners of the museum. Some visitors have even reported feelings of being followed by an unseen presence, particularly near exhibits dedicated to Poe's darker works, such as The Telltale Heart and The Raven. The museum also hosts special events, including Poe-themed nights and paranormal investigations, where visitors can explore the museum after hours in search of spectral activity. These events often attract ghost hunters and enthusiasts who hope to encounter the mysterious phenomena that have been reported for decades. The combination of historical artifacts, the museum's gothic ambiance, and the lingering presence of Poe's dark influence makes these experiences both thrilling and unnerving. For those willing to venture into the Edgar Allan Poe Museum, the experience is unforgettable. Walking through rooms that once inspired one of the greatest masters of horror, surrounded by his personal belongings and the faint echoes of the past, creates a sense of connection to both history and the supernatural. The museum is a testament to Poe's enduring legacy and the power of his imagination, as well as a reminder that some places retain the energy of those who lived and died there, leaving an imprint that can be felt by the living. Whether exploring the exhibits, attending a guided tour, or participating in a paranormal investigation, visitors often leave the Edgar Allan Poe Museum with stories of strange occurrences and an appreciation for the chilling atmosphere that permeates the building. The museum not only honors Poe's contributions to literature, but also serves as a hub for those intrigued by the unexplained, blending history, culture, and the supernatural into a singularly haunting experience. The Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Richmond is more than just a collection of artifacts. It is a place where the spirit of one of America's greatest writers seems to linger, offering glimpses into the mysterious and the macabre. For anyone fascinated by ghost stories, literary history, or the chilling presence of the past, this museum provides an unforgettable journey into a world where the lines between life, death, and the supernatural are eerily thin. Number 11. The Colonial Williamsburg Historic Area, Williamsburg. The Colonial Williamsburg Historic Area in Williamsburg, Virginia, is not just a living history museum where visitors can step back into 18th century America. It is also a place steeped in stories of the supernatural. With its cobblestone streets, historic buildings, and candlelit taverns, the area naturally exudes a sense of nostalgia, but many who visit report an underlying feeling of unease that cannot be explained by history alone. The preserved structures, some of which date back over 300 years, seem to carry the whispers and echoes of the past, making the historic district a magnet for paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. Visitors frequently describe experiencing inexplicable chills as they wander the streets after dark. Some claim to hear the faint sound of footsteps behind them, only to turn and find no one there. Others report hearing conversations, laughter, or the clatter of dishes from empty taverns, giving the sense that the town's colonial inhabitants are still going about their daily lives. The effect is amplified by the dim lighting, the shadows cast by lanterns, and the narrow alleys between the preserved buildings, creating an atmosphere that feels both authentic and eerily otherworldly. Certain buildings in the historic area are particularly notorious for paranormal activity. The Peyton Randolph House and the taverns often receive the most reports from visitors, with stories of doors opening and closing on their own, objects moving inexplicably, and even apparitions glimpsed in peripheral vision. Staff members who work in these buildings after hours sometimes report hearing footsteps, doors creaking, and disembodied voices echoing through the hallways. Some have even felt sudden cold spots, as if someone or something invisible has walked past them. The ghostly presence in colonial Williamsburg is often linked to the town's tumultuous past. Revolutionary-era soldiers, early settlers, and colonial leaders all contributed to the history of Williamsburg, and their stories of struggle, hardship, and sometimes tragic deaths may be imprinted on the very walls of the buildings. Visitors often sense a mix of reverence and unease as they explore the historic area, feeling as if they are walking among the spirits of those who once lived and worked there. Guided ghost tours have become a popular way to experience the paranormal side of colonial Williamsburg. These tours often take place after dark, highlighting the haunted buildings and recounting the eerie legends associated with them. Tour guides share accounts from locals and staff of unexplained phenomena, such as shadows moving across the walls, fleeting glimpses of colonial figures, and sudden, unexplainable noises. Many visitors describe these experiences as both thrilling and unsettling, adding a layer of tension to their exploration of the historic site. In addition to the guided tours, some visitors have reported personal encounters with the supernatural. Some have felt a presence standing close by, only to turn around and find nothing there. Others have captured strange anomalies in photographs, such as unexplained light streaks or faint, shadowy figures. These experiences contribute to the belief that the spirits of colonial Williamsburg are still present, offering a glimpse into a world where the past and the present intertwine in unexpected ways. The historic area's layout and architecture enhance the feeling of being in a haunted space. Narrow lanes, tightly clustered buildings, and dimly lit corners create natural hiding spots for shadows and reflections, which can make ordinary movements appear ghostly. Many visitors report that the ambience of colonial Williamsburg feels different at night, as if the town itself transforms into a place where the living and the dead coexist, and the air grows heavier with a sense of history and lingering energy. Colonial Williamsburg's reputation for hauntings is further amplified by the stories passed down through generations. Residents and employees often share tales of apparitions, unexplained sounds, and eerie encounters, suggesting that the spirits of those who once walked the streets have never fully left. These stories create a sense of mystery and suspense, attracting ghost hunters, paranormal enthusiasts, and curious visitors who are eager to witness the town's supernatural side for themselves. Visiting the colonial Williamsburg historic area is more than just a trip into history. It is an immersive experience where the past feels alive, and the presence of the supernatural adds an extra layer of intrigue. Whether wandering the streets alone, joining a ghost tour, or exploring historic buildings after hours, visitors are often left with the sense that they have crossed into a space where the boundaries between the living and the dead are remarkably thin. For those who are fascinated by ghost stories, the paranormal, or the lingering presence of history, colonial Williamsburg offers a unique and unforgettable experience. The combination of centuries-old architecture, rich historical context, and reported supernatural phenomena makes this historic area one of the most intriguing haunted locations in Virginia, providing chills, thrills, and a glimpse into the spirits of the past. Number 12. The Monticello, Charlottesville. Monticello, the historic home of Thomas Jefferson in Charlottesville, Virginia, is renowned for its architectural beauty, sprawling gardens, and significance in American history, but it also carries whispers of the supernatural that make it a magnet for those intrigued by ghostly phenomena. Visitors to Monticello often remark that there is an unusual stillness in certain rooms, a sensation that lingers long after stepping inside. While the home is celebrated for its elegance and historical importance, many who explore its halls after hours report feeling watched, hearing unexplained sounds, and sensing sudden drops in temperature. The grandeur of Monticello makes the presence of the paranormal all the more unnerving. The stately rooms, ornate furniture, and meticulously maintained gardens create an atmosphere of refinement and peace by day. But as the sun sets, the house seems to take on a more sinister tone. Staff members and nighttime visitors have reported faint footsteps echoing through the hallways, the distant murmur of voices, and the sudden creak of doors opening on their own. These experiences suggest that the home's past inhabitants may not have entirely departed, leaving behind echoes of their daily lives and the weight of history itself. Certain areas of Monticello are particularly associated with paranormal activity. The upper floors, where the family lived and worked, are often described as having the strongest energy. Some visitors claim to have seen fleeting shadows dart across the walls or caught glimpses of figures in period clothing out of the corner of their eye. Others have described hearing whispers and soft laughter in empty rooms, giving the impression that the spirits of Jefferson, his family, or the household staff may still wander the estate. The estate's tumultuous history, including the lives of those enslaved at Monticello, adds layers of complexity to its spectral reputation. The spirits of those who endured hardship, loss, and tragedy may be among the unseen presences, their energies lingering in certain rooms and outdoor spaces. Visitors often report feeling inexplicably sad or uneasy in specific areas, as if the home itself holds the memories of countless lives intertwined with joy, pain, and perseverance. These sensations transform a tour of Monticello from a purely historical experience into an immersive encounter with the echoes of the past. Guided ghost tours and paranormal investigations have become increasingly popular at Monticello, especially among those drawn to its darker history. Guides recount stories from staff and guests who have witnessed inexplicable events, including objects moving without explanation, cold drafts in enclosed rooms, and faint, unidentifiable sounds. Many participants describe a mixture of fascination and fear as they navigate the historic home, their imaginations fueled by the stories and the palpable sense of lingering presence. Photographers and paranormal investigators have occasionally captured unusual phenomena at Monticello. Strange light anomalies, shadowy figures, and ghostly apparitions appear in photographs taken in hallways and gardens. While skeptics argue these could be tricks of light or camera errors, many enthusiasts are convinced that the estate is home to spirits who are tethered to its walls and grounds, observing visitors and reliving fragments of their past lives. Monticello's gardens, though serene by day, are not immune to tales of the supernatural. Some visitors report hearing disembodied voices among the hedges and flower beds, and others describe a feeling of being watched while walking the estate's winding paths. The combination of natural beauty and eerie occurrences gives the grounds a haunting quality, where tranquility and tension coexist in equal measure. The home's architecture, with its hidden nooks, narrow corridors, and elevated chambers, also contributes to the sensation of haunting. Shadows cast by ornate furniture and low lighting can create illusions of movement, while the sound of the wind through the estate's many windows and doors sometimes resembles footsteps or whispered voices. Many who have visited Monticello late in the day report that the atmosphere shifts dramatically, and the mansion's once comforting presence becomes a chilling reminder of its long and complicated history. Monticello's reputation as a haunted site is not only fueled by personal accounts, but also by the stories passed down through generations. Staff members, historians, and visitors share tales of ghostly encounters, lending credibility to the idea that the past is not entirely silent. These stories enhance the allure of Monticello as a destination for those interested in both history and the paranormal, offering a unique blend of educational and spine-chilling experiences. Visiting Monticello is more than just a journey into the life of Thomas Jefferson. It is an opportunity to explore a space where the echoes of history intermingle with the unexplained. Whether wandering the grand halls, strolling through the gardens, or simply pausing to feel the energy of the estate, visitors often leave with a profound sense of connection to the past and a lingering awareness that some spirits may never truly rest. For those fascinated by historical hauntings, Monticello provides an unforgettable experience. The combination of architectural beauty, rich history, and reported paranormal phenomena creates a compelling atmosphere where the stories of the past continue to resonate. Exploring Monticello is to step into a world where the living and the spirits of history coexist, offering chills, intrigue, and the ever-present possibility of encountering the unexplained. Number 13. The Lee Fendall House, Alexandria. The Lee Fendall House in Alexandria, Virginia, is one of the most storied and notoriously haunted homes in the region. Nestled in a historic district, this grand mansion has stood for centuries, witnessing generations of the Lee family and countless events that have left indelible marks on its walls. While it is celebrated for its historical significance and architectural beauty, it is equally infamous for the ghostly activity reported by residents, staff, and visitors alike, making it a prime destination for paranormal enthusiasts. Walking through the Lee Fendall House, one can almost feel the weight of history pressing from every corner. The polished floors, intricate woodwork, and antique furnishings are steeped in the memories of those who once lived there, and many believe that some of those memories have refused to fade. Guests and staff often recount hearing disembodied footsteps echoing through the hallways when no one else is present, or catching glimpses of shadowy figures moving just out of the corner of their eye. The mansion seems to hum with an energy that is at once fascinating and unsettling. The house's many rooms each carry their own stories of paranormal activity. In the master bedroom, for example, visitors have reported sudden cold drafts and an inexplicable sense of being watched. Some claim to have seen faint apparitions dressed in period clothing drifting silently across the room. In other areas, such as the servants' quarters, whispers and murmurs have been heard despite the rooms being empty, suggesting that the spirits of those who worked tirelessly in the house may still linger, replaying fragments of their lives. The Lee Fendall House has a particularly tragic history, and some of the haunting is believed to be tied to these past events. Throughout its history, the house has witnessed deaths, family strife, and the struggles of those who lived within its walls. These emotional imprints are thought to manifest as paranormal phenomena, with visitors sensing sorrow, tension, or even anger in certain parts of the home. Such experiences leave guests both awed by the home's beauty and unnerved by the presence that seems to watch silently from the shadows. Many paranormal investigations have taken place at the Lee Fendall House. Enthusiasts armed with cameras, audio recorders, and EMF detectors have reported capturing unusual activity. Strange lights, fleeting shadows, and unexplained sounds frequently appear in recordings, adding to the home's reputation as a hotspot for supernatural encounters. Even skeptics have found themselves questioning the ordinary after visiting, as the house's ambiance can play tricks on the mind, blurring the line between reality and the unseen. The gardens and grounds surrounding the Lee Fendall House are also shrouded in an eerie atmosphere. Walking through the meticulously maintained landscaping, visitors sometimes feel sudden chills or hear faint rustling that cannot be explained. The outdoor spaces, though open and sunlit during the day, transform at night into shadowy corridors that heighten the sense of the paranormal, leaving many with the uneasy feeling that the property itself is alive with unseen presences. Part of what makes the Lee Fendel house so compelling to ghost hunters and curious visitors is its layered history. The home was passed down through generations of the Lee family, each leaving their mark on its walls, and each potentially contributing to the spectral energy that residents and guests report. The combination of historical significance, architectural elegance, and ongoing paranormal activity creates a powerful allure for anyone fascinated by haunted places. Visitors to the Lee Fendel house often describe the experience as both educational and unnerving. Guided tours provide a detailed account of the home's history, from its construction to the lives of its inhabitants, but they also share chilling anecdotes of ghostly encounters. Guests are warned to expect the unexpected, whether it's a sudden cold breeze in a room that should be warm, a shadowy figure appearing at the edge of vision, or the inexplicable feeling of being followed through the halls. Each story reinforces the house's reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Virginia. Even the architecture of the Lee Fendel house seems to invite the paranormal. Its many hallways, hidden corners, and high ceilings create spaces where sound and shadow play tricks on the mind, while the creaking of old floorboards and the groaning of aging timbers can mimic the presence of unseen occupants. Visitors report that these features, combined with the house's historical energy, intensify the feeling of being in a place where the past has never fully released its grip. The Lee Fendel house is more than just a haunted house. It is a living museum where history and the paranormal converge. From its elegant parlors to the quiet servant quarters, every corner holds stories waiting to be discovered. For those willing to step into its halls, the experience is unforgettable. There is a sense that the spirits of the past are not merely figments of imagination, but active witnesses to the ongoing life of the home, silently observing and occasionally making their presence known. Whether you are a history buff, a paranormal investigator, or simply a curious visitor, the Lee Fendel house offers an encounter with the unexplained that is both thrilling and chilling. The combination of tragic history, architectural grandeur, and ongoing supernatural phenomena ensures that a visit here is unlike any other. One leaves the Lee Fendel house with a deep appreciation for its historical significance, as well as a lingering awareness that some spirits never truly rest. In exploring the Lee Fendel house, visitors step into a space where time, memory, and the supernatural intermingle. The echoes of the past are tangible, the stories of its inhabitants are palpable, and the occasional unexplained events serve as reminders that the boundary between the living and the dead is often thinner than we realize. This is a place where the history of Virginia and the mystery of the paranormal coexist, offering an experience that is equal parts awe-inspiring and haunting. Number 14. The Abingdon Church, Bristol. The Abingdon Church in Bristol, Virginia, is a place where history and the supernatural intertwine in the most chilling ways. Standing solemnly amidst the quiet streets of Bristol, the church has been a beacon of faith and community for centuries, yet beneath its serene exterior lies a history marked by tragedy, mystery, and unexplainable phenomena. Visitors and parishioners alike have reported eerie occurrences that suggest the spirits of the past remain very much present, turning this sacred place into one of the most haunted locations in the region. Walking through the Abingdon Church, one immediately senses a presence that goes beyond the ordinary. The aged wooden pews, towering stained glass windows, and the echoing halls exude an atmosphere both reverent and unsettling. Guests often recount feeling sudden chills, hearing whispers in empty corridors, or sensing a heavy, watchful gaze upon them. The church's architecture, with its long, shadowed aisles and hidden alcoves, seems almost designed to amplify the eerie energy that lingers within its walls. The Abingdon Church's haunted reputation is partly rooted in its history. Over the years, it has witnessed countless funerals, weddings, and ceremonies, some joyful and others tragic. Parish records reveal untimely deaths, mysterious disappearances, and accounts of illnesses and misfortune that have befallen both clergy and congregants. Many believe that the intense emotions tied to these events have left spiritual imprints, manifesting as ghostly apparitions, disembodied footsteps, and unexplained noises that persist to this day. One of the most frequently reported phenomena is the presence of shadowy figures moving silently across the church grounds or inside the sanctuary. Visitors claim to have seen fleeting glimpses of robed figures, perhaps clergy from centuries past, gliding across the pews or standing silently near the pulpit. These sightings are often accompanied by sudden drops in temperature, cold drafts, or the faint smell of incense and candles, even when no source is present. The combination of visual, auditory, and sensory experiences has made the Abingdon Church a hotspot for paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. Several parishioners have shared chilling accounts of interactions with the unexplained. Some have reported feeling invisible hands touch their shoulders or backs during prayer, while others have heard their names called in hushed whispers with no one in sight. These experiences are often deeply personal and unsettling, leaving individuals questioning whether they are truly alone in the church or if the spirits of the past are simply observing the living. The church's cemetery, located just behind the main building, adds another layer to its haunting. Gravestones, some weathered and nearly illegible, mark the resting places of those who once walked the halls of the church and the surrounding town. Visitors frequently report strange lights hovering above certain graves, phantom figures wandering between the stones, and a sense of being watched by unseen eyes. The cemetery, steeped in history and sorrow, acts as a conduit for the lingering spirits who refuse to leave, making the Abingdon Church grounds a place where the living and the dead seem to coexist uneasily. Paranormal investigators have long been drawn to the Abingdon Church. Equipped with cameras, EMF detectors, and audio recorders, they seek evidence of the supernatural that many have claimed exists. Recordings often capture unexplained footsteps, strange knocks, and disembodied voices that defy logical explanation. Lights flicker without cause, and objects occasionally move on their own, all contributing to the church's reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Virginia. Even skeptics often leave with a sense of unease, as the energy within the church can be palpable and unnerving, making it difficult to dismiss the accounts of those who have experienced the unexplainable. Beyond the supernatural, the Abingdon Church offers a glimpse into the historical fabric of Bristol. Its architecture tells stories of a bygone era, with intricate woodwork, original stained glass, and antique furnishings that have survived for centuries. Yet these same elements seem to enhance the haunting, as shadows dance across the walls, floorboards creak with no apparent cause, and the silence is punctuated by mysterious noises. The interplay between history and haunting creates an atmosphere that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, drawing in visitors who are eager to explore both the architectural beauty and the ghostly legends. Local legends surrounding the church contribute to its eerie reputation. Stories passed down through generations speak of restless spirits who linger due to unfinished business, tragic deaths, or deep sorrow. Some tales describe ghostly clergy continuing their duties long after death, while others tell of mourners who never left the church grounds. These narratives, whether grounded in fact or folklore, add to the chilling ambiance, creating an environment where every creak, shadow, and whisper feels like a connection to the past. The Abingdon Church is not just a site for the supernatural. It is a place where history, memory, and emotion converge. Visitors often leave with a profound sense of reverence mixed with unease, as if they have glimpsed a world that exists just beyond the veil of the living. The combination of architectural elegance, historical significance, and persistent paranormal activity ensures that a visit here is memorable, haunting, and deeply unsettling. For those brave enough to explore, the Abingdon Church offers a unique experience. It is a place where one can witness the echoes of the past, feel the presence of unseen entities, and confront the mysteries that linger in the shadows. Whether you are a history enthusiast, a paranormal investigator, or a curious visitor, the church promises an encounter that will linger in your mind long after you leave, reminding you that some spirits never truly rest. Stepping into the Abingdon Church is stepping into a living, breathing chronicle of Virginia's past, where every corner, every shadow, and every sound tells a story. It is a place where the line between the living and the dead is blurred, and where history and the supernatural intertwine in ways that are as beautiful as they are terrifying. Visiting the church is not just an exploration of architecture or history. It is an invitation to confront the unknown, to feel the weight of the past, and to witness firsthand the mysteries that have kept this place haunted for generations. Number 15. The St. John's Church, Richmond. The St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia, is a historic landmark that has long captured the imagination of both locals and visitors. Known for its pivotal role in American history, the church's serene exterior and classic architecture conceal an unsettling truth, as many believe it is one of the most haunted locations in the region. Within its walls, the past seems to linger, and the air carries a weight of stories, sorrow, and unexplained phenomena that continue to disturb those who enter. Walking into St. John's Church, one is immediately struck by the grandeur of its interior. The tall wooden pews, arched ceilings, and intricate stained glass windows create a space that feels sacred and timeless. Yet, despite its beauty, the atmosphere can feel oppressively heavy, as if unseen eyes are watching every movement. Visitors often report sudden chills, feelings of unease, and the sense of being followed by an invisible presence. The quiet rustle of fabric, unexplained shadows, and faint whispers all contribute to the chilling aura that surrounds the church. The church's haunted reputation is deeply intertwined with its history. Established in the early 18th century, St. John's Church has witnessed centuries of worship, tragedy, and human drama. It was the site of historic speeches, including Patrick Henry's famous "Give me liberty or give me death" address, and countless events that shaped the nation. Alongside these momentous occasions, the church has also been the backdrop for personal tragedies, untimely deaths, and unexplained accidents, all of which are believed to have left residual energy that continues to haunt the premises. Parishioners and visitors alike have shared numerous accounts of paranormal activity. Some have seen ghostly figures in the aisles, often resembling colonial-era congregants dressed in period clothing. Others have reported hearing whispers and murmurs when the church is empty, or the faint sound of footsteps echoing across the wooden floors. These encounters are sometimes accompanied by sudden drops in temperature, objects moving inexplicably, and doors opening or closing on their own. The combination of visual, auditory, and sensory phenomena has made St. John's Church a frequent subject of paranormal investigations. The churchyard and surrounding grounds further enhance the sense of mystery. The old cemetery, with weathered gravestones and crypts, is said to be the resting place of many individuals whose spirits linger, unable or unwilling to leave. Visitors often report seeing shadowy figures wandering among the graves, hearing disembodied voices, or experiencing an oppressive sense of being watched. The quiet of the grounds at night can be particularly unsettling, as every rustle of leaves or creak of a branch seems amplified in the eerie silence. Local legends add another layer to the haunting of St. John's Church. Stories passed down through generations speak of spirits tied to historical events, tragic deaths, and unfulfilled obligations. Some claim that the church's walls have absorbed the emotions of those who lived and died within them, creating a tangible presence, that manifests as apparitions, cold spots, and strange noises. These tales, whether based in fact or folklore, make every visit to St. John's Church a deeply atmospheric and unnerving experience. Visitors and ghost hunters alike often describe an almost palpable energy when exploring the church. Even skeptics frequently report a sense of unease that cannot be easily explained. Some have captured unexplained orbs of light on camera, EVP recordings of whispering voices, and shadows moving independently of any source. These occurrences suggest that St. John's Church is not merely a historical site, but a location where the boundary between the living and the dead is unusually thin. The church continues to function as a place of worship, hosting regular services and community events. Yet the haunted reputation has only grown over the years. Clergy and staff often speak of experiences that cannot be explained by natural causes, from footsteps in empty hallways to fleeting glimpses of figures dressed in old-fashioned clothing. These accounts, combined with the church's rich history and spectral activity, make it a compelling destination for those interested in both history and the paranormal. Exploring St. John's Church is a unique journey that blends the awe of historical architecture with the spine-chilling thrill of a haunted location. The tension between the beauty of the church's interior and the eerie, unsettling experiences reported by visitors creates an atmosphere that is both captivating and frightening. Whether one is drawn by historical significance or the allure of ghostly legends, the church promises an experience that lingers long after leaving visitors with a mix of admiration, unease, and fascination. In conclusion, the St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia, stands as a testament to both the nation's history and the lingering mysteries of the supernatural. Its walls have borne witness to countless events, from the birth of a nation to personal tragedies, and the spirits of those who once inhabited it seem to remain present. Visiting St. John's Church is not simply a historical tour. It is a chance to step into a place where the past and the supernatural coexist, and where every shadow, sound, and whisper might carry the echo of centuries gone by. Exploring the haunted corners of Virginia has taken us through centuries of history, mystery, and spine-chilling encounters. From the grand halls of Bacon's Castle to the somber graveyards surrounding St. John's Church, each location carries its own dark secrets, unexplainable phenomena, and tales that continue to haunt the living. These are places where history and the supernatural collide, where the walls seem to remember, and where the echoes of the past whisper to anyone willing to listen. The stories we've shared are more than just ghost tales. They are windows into lives long gone, tragedies that left marks on the world, and paranormal encounters that defy reason. If you felt the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, if your imagination ran wild thinking about walking these haunted halls yourself, or if you found yourself drawn to uncovering more about the spectral mysteries hidden in Virginia, then there's more for you to explore. Dive deeper into the legends, read first-hand accounts, and experience the eerie beauty and terror of these haunted places through documentaries, guided tours, and investigative reports. Every creak, every shadow, every whisper could be the lingering presence of history reaching out. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these haunted locations sent chills down your spine the most? Are you brave enough to visit any of them? Or would you prefer to keep a safe distance from the restless spirits lurking there? Share your thoughts, experiences, and questions in the comments below, because we love connecting with fellow enthusiasts of the paranormal. And if you've enjoyed this journey into Virginia's most haunted places, make sure to hit that like button. Share this video with your friends and family who are fascinated by ghost stories, haunted history, and the unexplained. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into haunted locations, spine-chilling encounters, and stories that will make you question the world around you. Remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, And sometimes the most terrifying stories are the ones that are closer than you think. Stay curious, stay cautious, and most importantly, keep your senses sharp, because the spirits of Virginia's past are always watching, always listening, and always waiting to make their presence known.